I own this little autofocusing beast for over a year now, and I like it. I like it very much, and I'll tell you why.
This beauty comes in silver and black. She weighs 260 grams, has a complete metal construction, and a 52mm filter size. In order to use the autofocus for many more years to come, the lens's software can be updated with a micro USB cable.
I've done it a couple of times. It's a simple, quick process. It's definitely easier than convincing your wife to buy the lens.
Let's not pretend that we don't always want to shoot wide open. The only reason you want to get this glass is to get that creamy bokeh on the budget. The good news is that the fast aperture will not only get you the cinematic look you're after, but it'll also allow you to literally see in the dark. Now, if you want this lens for shooting videos, you need to remember that you will need a decent variable ND filter if you want to shoot wide open and control the shutter speed in the same time. You'll maybe get away with not using an ND in the dark, but I would say having one is a must.
The autofocus on the XT-4 is very good, like very, very, very good. Look how quickly it changes focus.
First of all, this is the cheapest autofocusing lens for your Fuji FX mount. Does it work? Well, I have not detected any visible differences in the autofocus performance when I compared it to native Fuji lenses. I would rate all of them about 7 out of 10. It's quiet and works quite well. There are absolutely no issues with it when you're shooting stills, and it's pretty good for videos too. However, the performance kind of drops when the lighting conditions are not ideal. So in the dark, don't expect the same performance. Obviously you won't get the sharpest images at f1.4, but as soon as you close the aperture down to like f2 and below, the images are going to be sharp. The sweet spot is in between f5.6 and f11. If you have sharpness issues, it could be two things. One, it's user error on your part. And two, you could have a bad copy. Is it good for videos? In short, yes it is. In more detail, this lens isn't stabilized, so if your camera doesn't have inbuilt stabilization, then you can only get these kind of handheld shots. With the stabilized camera like the XT-4, your videos will look like this.
If you think about getting this lens for vlogging, this is a full arm length away from me. I think 23mm is a little bit too tight. It's kind of doable, but not the best. I wouldn't go anything tighter than 18mm.
This lens, unlike most Fuji lenses, doesn't have an impressive close focusing distance either. I mean, this is the closest it can do. And one more thing, while you're shooting videos, you have to make sure not to use it in the rain, because it's not weather sealed.
The best use case is probably indoors, on a stand, recording talking head shots just like this.
Taking stills? Well, other than not being able to get super close shots and the lack of stabilization, it's a great lens for stills. As I mentioned, autofocus is pretty snappy and hardly ever misses a beat. If your camera isn't stabilized, you have to set higher shutter speed to get sharp images, but the wide aperture, don't forget it's a fast lens, will help you out big time. And putting the camera on the stand will also help you to get sharp images, just like this. Final thoughts? I find myself reaching for the Viltrox all the time, especially for talking headshots. It's one of my favorite lenses for videos that usually stays on my XT-4. The 23mm is a really good all-rounder focal length that can be used for a wide range of shots. I paid £260 for this lens, and I think it's an amazing value for what you're getting.
I would, without hesitation, 100% recommend it to everyone who's interested in picking up one. Thank you so much for getting this far into my video. I really appreciate your support, and see you in the next one. Bye!